The Lunaverse, Episode 27 by Rainbow Double Dash. Lunaverse by Rainbow Double Dash. Crisis on Two Equestrias. Chapter 5. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? It was said that all roads led to Canterlot. While foreign and metaphorical, it was true that Canterlot sat near the center of Equestria. So naturally, many of the nation's highways and byways crossed over it and went through it. Ponyville, however, had to make do with just 4 roads that led to it, plus a railway line, of course. Although really, the railway just more passed through. As a small farming town, though, 4 roads were more than enough. Indeed, sometimes, especially during the summer games, the citizenry of Ponyville emphasized loudly that the road that led in from Hoofington did just that, came from Hoofington to Ponyville, and not the other way around. Because Ponyville was more important by far. It was going to win this year's summer games, too. If one listened, one could hear similar things, albeit in reverse, being said in Huffington. Both Ponyvillians and Huffingtonians agreed, once the hard cider got to flying, that Bryletonians could go buck a beehive. Especially the Bryletonians had recently beaten the 2 of them in the summer games. Trixie steeled herself as she looked into the town from the front of her brand new wagon. She and Ponyville had a history. It was difficult not to feel apprehensive over the fact that, literally just as she entered Ponyville, a golden field had entered the entire town. She spent half an hour just sitting inside her wagon, debating whether or not to nevertheless go through with her plan. But she had to, because if she could make it in Ponyville, she could make it anywhere. Trixie nodded, running a huff across the brim of her hat as she hopped on top of her wagon, her glowing a pastel pink beneath her hat as she turned the lever. The lever made the wagon go forward with a clever arrangement of cogs and gears, rolling forward at the equivalent of a brisk trot. At the same time, she wrapped the entire wagon in a pink glow that looked like a telekinetic aura, but in reality was nothing more than a little light. Still, a typical Ponyvillian, such as those glancing at her with wide eyes as the wagon moved forward, would see the wagon appearing to move under her telekinetic might and power. No need to lie, Trixie. No need to go about on how great and powerful you are. They can lift an entire full wagon. She thought to herself with the stunned glances. There is no need for Trixie to prove her majesty. Just be majestic. Citizens of Ponyville! Trixie exclaimed as her cart moved. She stood on her hind legs, spreading her front hooves wide. Come on, come all! Come and see the greatest show in all of Equestria! Trixie guided her cart through to the nearest open space. Her comeback tour has done in Stalingrad! Trixie exclaimed. Been applauded in Appaloosa. Huffington and Bryleton have both been privy to her new and improved act. Her wagon came to a stop. She hopped inside quickly, pulling the lever. It set about transforming, even as Trixie's horn glowed a brighter pink, wrapping magic around her throat in one of the few true spells she knew. Was with both throw and project her voice. But now she has returned to Ponyville, Trixie said as her stage finished transforming. Her hoof easily found a capsule that contained a smoke powder for her entrance. She knows she has a history in this town, so she is here to reclaim her honor and give you all the show of a lifetime. Trixie grinned. First time she had been Ponyville. Whatever else happened, those country hicks. Careful, Trixie, she warned herself. These fine ponies had eaten up her show, loving every slight of hope and active illusion. She could just see them get them past the Alicorn amulet thing. Trixie stepped up to behind her curtain. Come one, come all, she repeated. See the one, the only, the great and powerful Trixie! With a flick of her hoof, Trixie set off the smoke bomb. It rushed on the stage before it could clear, careful to avoid tripping on her cape. Tapping her hoof against a well-placed and well-hidden button on the stage set off the automatic trumpeting fanfare, as well as several fireworks and streamers. She reared back on her hooves again. She didn't get applause. She really hadn't expected it, though, not in this town. She had an uphill struggle in front of her, she knew. She was equally unsurprised when she finally looked at her crowd, saw only a few dozen ponies, all of them with stunned looks on their faces, none of them looking impressed or happy. Trixie closed her eyes, putting a hoof to her chest. Trixie sees your concern, she announced, and she understands it. The great and powerful Trixie has done the town of Ponyville wrong, and she apologizes. Huh. That hadn't been as hard as she thought it would be. Xerox, that you only give her a final chance, Trixie cried out, opening her eyes again, spreading her hooves. Trixie only wishes to amaze and astound. Trixie tapped her hoof against another hidden button, and music began even as hidden panel on her stage, the door opened. A puff of smoke released, and a table adorned with cards, knives, hooks, small puppets. Another Trixie legerdman revealed. Trixie's horn glowed pink as he grabbed the cards, spread all 52 before Ponyville town canonically, flipping them around in intricate pattern. Oh, it really doesn't matter what I do, as long as I do it with a flair. What little smoke is with the dash of hocus pocus, and the scent of burning sulphur and wow! The last word wasn't part of the song. What it was a reaction to a golden-armored, white-coated Pegasus suddenly tracking Trixie to the stage floor, making her lose all her cards. Second Pegasus landed a moment later, wings spread wide and glaring down at Trixie. Trixie recognized the armor of the Royal Guard, of course. Is there a problem? She asked. She had thought that was what that hated in Ponyville.
By the authority of Princess Celestia, the guard informed her, you are under arrest for the theft of the elements of harmony.
Trixie's eyes grew wider. What? 15 minutes earlier, Twilight was considering how Ponyville Elementary did not look like a good place to try and talk down an apparently crazy unicorn. Most of all because of the foals inside, who could potentially be put in harm's way if things didn't go well. Rainbow Dash! Twilight called as the school came into view. Go inside and let Shirley know what's going on to get the foals out. Rainbow Dash grinned. Right, she said, shooting ahead of the rest of the group, barreling through the school door. Twilight could hear as he entered. Great news, kids! School's out early! Twilight didn't focus on the ensuing cheer. Instead, just rolling her eyes as the remaining 5 of them came to a stop just outside the entrance. After a few minutes, the foals all came tumbling out of the schoolhouse as a group, rushing towards the center of town. Twilight looked constantly at her friend. I told them that there was a race to sweet up Lakers, she said. Winner gets a cupcake. Pinky gasped, glancing after the foals pensively. It looked like she was debating joining in the race. Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes. It'll keep them sticking together, she said. And Trixie probably won't be coming from that direction. Twilight nodded, glancing into the schoolhouse. Shirley was coming up to the 6 of them, worry painted all over the schoolteacher's face. Rainbow Dash said that Trixie was back, she said, but why would she be after me? What did I ever do? Twilight shook her head. I don't know, she admitted. Trixie's confused right now. She thinks that she's the bearer of the element of magic, and you're supposed to have one yourself. Kindness, maybe? Pinky asked, tapping a hoof to her mouth. Yep. If you be any element of harmony, you be kindness, right, Fluttershy? Maybe. I don't know you very well, Miss Shirley. I'm sorry, but I bet that if you wanted to bear the element of kindness, you do a great job. Nah, Applejack said, not to toot my own horn, but I think Miss Shirley would make a fine element of honesty. What generosity, Verity suggested, giving up so much of your own time for your students' well-being. She winked at Shirley. I think you would be a perfect fit. Girls, Twilight interrupted, holding up a huff. The other 5 bears looked suitably embarrassed at their tangent, and Twilight turned back to Shirley. I think it would be best to get you to Twilight Sparkle! Twilight froze the moment it missed of her name. Then a slight groan when she recognized the voice and turned around. She found herself looking, unsurprisingly, at Trixie, standing at the base of the hill that the school was on. More surprisingly, however, was the fact that 4 other mares were with her. A jasmine-coated blue-maned Pegasus, gray-coated blonde Pegasus, a yellow-coated orange-maned earth pony, and a mint-green, white and mint-maned unicorn, holding a lyre in her golden telekinetic aura. Her eyes widened when she recognized a few of them. The male mare, Dissy Dew, and the unicorn lyre player, Lyra, specifically. Twilight couldn't see the box that she knew the elements of harmony were in. Trixie took a step forward, looking Twilight in the eye. Twilight, she said, I know that you would never willingly work with Corona. It has to be the spell. There is no spell, Trixie, Twilight exclaimed. She and her friends formed a protective wall between Trixie and Charlie. She looked at the other ponies with Trixie, all panting heavily. Look at these, must run across town to get here. You four, Trixie told you you're supposed to be element bearers, right? You don't really believe her, do you? The Pegasus opened her mouth at that. Her throat, she paused. See a tone. She closed her eyes, steeling herself. Trixie's my best friend. My closest friend. I can't just ignore what she showed me. See, what now? Rainbow Dash asked. She flew forward, waving out Twilight's concern, getting closer to Trixie. Raindrops, we work together almost every day. I know I'm the one supposed to have the element of loyalty. I brag about it often enough. Raindrops shook her head. I'm the element of honesty. Trixie showed me. And I'm supposed to be the element of generosity. The yellow earth pointing at Trixie's Clubus game, trying forward to look at Applejack. And I'm supposed to have my carrot farm. I never said it to you. What? Applejack asked, taken aback. Carrot Top, you really didn't listen to Trixie over that, did you? You sold this farm to Sweet Apple Acres because you trusted us. We've known each other for years, remember? Carrot Top, Rarity insisted, stepping into view. Nodding pieces is the reason. We see each other at the spa. We get along. Ever since I helped you with that main cut fiasco. You know me. You must remember me. Carrot Top faltered a little. I do remember. But I also know what Trixie showed me. You can't just make up memories. Not just memories, Lyra said, eyeing Rainbow Dash. I'm supposed to have the element of loyalty. I'm sorry, Rainbow Dash, but I am. What? Rainbow Dash demanded. She made the dart forward. Applejack grabbed her by the tail before she could. Lyra, I'm sure you're a great mare. I don't know about that, Lyra said. One hoof was climbing over her lyre absently as she talked. I really don't know. But what I do know is that I'm supposed to be with Bon Bon. I love Bon Bon. And she's supposed to love me. But whatever the spell is, it's taken that. Turned me into some lazy, good-for-nothing layabout. Afraid to even admit to Bon Bon what I feel. You're not lazy, Pinky accepted, trying forward with a bright smile on her face. You come to every one of my parties, and... Pinky produced from nowhere a large spiral-bound notebook. Every page full of writing and with reams of additional paper and drawings, a blueprint sticking out of it, like her eyebrows at her lyre. Don't think I haven't noticed the way you look at Bonnie. I have been planning your Lyra finally confessed to Bon Bon party for years, and it's going to be a blast! Of course Pinky has parties planned for millennia. Twilight looked at Trixie, who had broken eye contact with her. Trixie, she said, look at that notebook. Pinky didn't just pull it out of nowhere. I think. She certainly didn't fill it all up today. Princess Celestia really was evil, and she could just rewrite the entire world. Doesn't she do something a little, I don't know, bigger than just breaking up a couple of ponies, giving Carrot Top's farm to Applejack? Corona's insane, Twilight. I don't know what she do, Trixie countered. I don't know what spell she cast. And maybe it's just how the spell works. Maybe the spell can't hurt any pony, I don't know. All I know, it's wrong. Trixie pointed to Ditzy, pointing to Fluttershy. You know Fluttershy, she said. She is sweet, demure, and a good pony. But think about it, Ditzy. Think about how much of a shut-in Fluttershy is. I don't know what Corona made you think happened on the longest night when she returned. Princess Luna being evil, and returning from being trapped on the moon, whatever. Just think about Fluttershy. After Princess Luna did her evil thing, would Fluttershy really go into Everfree? No! She run home and makes sure her animal friends were okay, or hide under her bed, or both. I don't know whether she deserves her an element, or which one she thinks she is, but there is no way she ever be in a position to have earned one in the first place. Excuse me? Trixie's head whipped around as she saw Fluttershy glaring at her for a moment. The butter-colored Pegasus wilted slightly, though only slightly. Sorry, she said, but that's not what happened. I mean, I wanted to when Nightmare Moon first showed up,
go home and make sure all my friends were okay, and maybe hide. But I saw Twilight.
She looked at her friend, smiling.
Instead of panicking like everybody else was, she had run straight to the library. I just knew that she knew how to stop Nightmare Moon, and the surest way to help my animal friends would be to help Twilight do that, even if it meant going to Everfree.
Trixie stared a moment at Fluttershy, then looked back at Ditzy.
See? She asked. That's not Celestia.
Ditzy looked between Fluttershy and Trixie.
She said, I don't know. I remember you, Fluttershy. But I also remember.
She shook her head a moment, debated, then stepped closer to Trixie.
I had to trust my friend,
she declared. But Trixie isn't your friend, Twilight objected. What kind of spell Trixie used on these ponies?
Yes, I am, Trixie countered. Think, Twilight. How could I even know these mares if I wasn't friends with them? If I wasn't supposed to live in Ponyville?
Twilight shook her head. She didn't have an answer for that, but that didn't make Trixie's claims any less absurd. Please, Trixie, she said. We want to help you, but this isn't right. Don't... She paused a moment, then set herself steadily on the ground, horn glowing. Don't make us do something we'll regret later. Trixie stared at Twilight, mouth hanging open slightly. After a moment, her face hardened, her horn glowing blue. There were puffs of smoke around the throats of each of her so-called friends, on top of Trixie's own head, and beside her, revealing each of them to be wearing elements of harmony. On top of Trixie's head, meanwhile, set over her wizard's cap, was the element of magic. Floating in her telekinetic grip was the blue box that would contain the element of laughter.
I'm sorry, Twilight,
Trixie said, and she sounded like she meant it too, as she charged up the hill, horn glowing bright blue. After a second, her comrades followed. Piggy, stay with Trixie, Twilight said. The pony gave to a salute. Everybody else, don't hurt him. Twilight's friends nodded, and they charged. Things did not go the way Trixie thought they would. She already entered the ensuing short battle with little enthusiasm. She had simply expected her hopes to be dazzled by Twilight's raw magical power, and her friends would otherwise hold her own against Twilight's own ensnared compatriots. That was not the case. Raindrops and Rainbow Dash met each other first. Raindrops was a slow flyer, but even a slow Pegasus could still fly faster than a pony could charge uphill. Raindrops was supposed to be strong, though. Stronger than any ponies, even. Instead, to her own surprise, and even to Rainbow Dash's, she was knocked back almost instantly. Raindrops tried to recover, but Rainbow Dash was behind her in a bare instant, grabbing about her barrel with her forelegs, pinning Raindrops' wings to her sides or her hind legs. Rainbow Dash's own wings beat rapidly, taking Raindrops to the ground as gently as possible and pinning her there.
Doesn't Raindrops know martial arts? Trixie wondered. She should be putting up more of a fight.
Ditzy and Fluttershy met nearly at the same time. Neither pony looked eager to fight, and even paused, unsure of how to proceed without hurting each other. Ditzy tried to fly past Fluttershy, but Fluttershy simply spread her hose wide, blocked Ditzy's path each time. Sadness mixed with determination on her face to make sure that Ditzy progressed no further up the hill. And Ditzy, for all that was sake, couldn't bring herself to physically push Fluttershy out of the way.
Fluttershy, you shouldn't be acting like that. Stupid spell.
Carrot Top and Applejack met at nearly the same time as Rarity and Lyra. Lyra's horn glowed gold as she swung her lyre telekinetically, trying to use it as a bludgeoning weapon for some reason. Rarity stopped it with one hoof, surprisingly easy, however, before she continued her charge, leapt over Lyra, and actually leapt on Lyra's back. Her host grasped Lyra about her head and pulled. She fell backwards. Rarity let out a slight grunt and landing on her back, with another pony on top of her, but rapidly had Lyra in a headlock. I love you, Rarity.
Lyra, you're supposed to know spell songs. Why didn't you use any?
Carrot Top fared no better against Applejack. Trixie didn't even see what had happened clearly. Applejack had gotten out her lasso, whipped it around a few times. In a few moments, Carrot Top had been hog-tied, Applejack using her teeth to pull her knot tight.
Carrot Top, you used to be strong enough to break that. You plow fields all day long.
Oh my.
Darn decay!
Trixie didn't have time to worry about the state of her companions, though, because suddenly it was just down to her and Twilight. The simple fact that was froze her spell She would never beat Twilight Sparkle. That's why she just threw the box containing the element of laughter at Twilight's face, as hard as fast as he could. Twilight cast, barely catching the box in her own telekinesis, glancing backwards when Trixie leaped, shoving her shoulder against the box and pushing forward to Twilight's muzzle. Twilight stumbled, but her horn glowed bright lavender. A field of energy erupted around her Pinky and Cheerilee, stopping Trixie's progress. Trixie turned on Twilight, just as Twilight's horn shot off a beam of energy, probably meant to stun her. Trixie ducked, though she thought she noticed something she did. Trixie stepped to the side, away from Twilight's shield, keeping one eye on even as she ducked another stunning blast. As she saw it, for just a moment, the shield flickered. It seemed that, despite her power, Twilight was just like many other unicorns, unable to maintain more than one complex spell at a time. The speed with which she replaced the shield was fantastic, but there was a chance. Trixie slung off her cape and held it in front of her with telekinesis, keeping most of her body shielded.
You couldn't hit the broadside of a mine,
she taunted. Twilight fired off several more magical bursts at Trixie. She dodged them with forwards of her cape each time, using her cape to disguise where her body actually was, even as she scanned around randomly.
You're not going to make me angry, Trixie, Twilight exclaimed. Your father is a vindictive, cruel pony. Your brother is a Your insane nag could drop the space bear into a town just to show how powerful you are with magic.
Not going to work,
Twilight repeated, firing off another burst. She didn't seem angry, to her credit, but Trixie didn't need her to be angry. Just distracted enough not to slow down her stunning blast. Distracted enough not to pay close attention to Trixie's key flourishes and movements. Distracted enough to fire off one blast in particular and not notice the angles involved. Trixie moved her cape out of the way, just as the shield dropped. The blast passed through where the shield had been, and nearly hit Pinky square in the barrel. Every pony dodged, only by leaping into the air in surprise. Twilight froze, eyes wide, and nearly stuck with one of her own friends. Trixie seized the moment to leap at Cheerilee, casting aside her cape as she pulled the element of laughter from the box it was in, slipped it around Cheerilee's neck. Cheerilee's mouth opened as she let out a sound of surprise. Was the just opening that Trixie needed. Their lips touched, and Trixie's horns glowed bright blue, and she thought of every moment she ever spent with Cheerilee, being introduced by Lyra, confronting the Everfree Force together. Cheerilee standing up to Corona and earning the element of laughter. She thought of the rainy day in Ponyville, when Cheerilee had somehow gotten into her head that Trixie had never had to talk, and how embarrassed both of them had been by the end of it. She thought of Owen, and Count Coppercoin, and poor Tarnist. She thought of Cheerilee rescuing her when she had been kidnapped by salamanders. She thought of the Grand Galbingala. Trixie thought of everything that Cheerilee was, strong and confident. She was a little introverted, but was there when anybody needed her. She laughed easily, and encouraged others to do the same. She never took anything too seriously. She was, in many ways, the leader of her group of friends, always organized, always best at coming up with plans, and understanding what was really going on. And Trixie thought of what Cheerilee had said 6 months ago, the words that earned her the element of laughter.
I'm dead anyway.
She had told Corona after making a joke at the Mad Alicorn's expense.
So why not? I'm going to die laughing, and I'm going to die making every pony else laugh how ridiculous you are.
Trixie thought of that, and mentally shoved it forward, through her mouth and through the magical conduct that dispelled forwards, into Cheerilee, and Trixie was pulled off the earth pony by a telekinetic aura. Cheerilee fell away from her anyway, eyes wide and unseeing for several moments. Rather not unseeing. Instead, seeing everything Trixie had shown her, every single one of their memories together, feeling every emotion Trixie had with one of her best and closest and only friends.
You have to remember, Cheerilee,
Trixie exclaimed as she was pulled backwards by Twilight Sparkle. She didn't fight. At this point, it wouldn't matter. Either she succeeded, and she could fix everything, save every pony, or they were all doomed.
I'm your friend. You have to remember.
No, a stern, though not cruel voice said, she does not, because there is nothing to remember, Trixie. Trixie recognized that voice. Trixie turned around and saw Corona. She may have disguised her mane and tail, made herself seem to be made as she once was, but before her fall to madness and hatred and fire. But Trixie wasn't fooled. Corona was in the air, though she landed easily, looking around and frowning. Every pony's eyes were on her, of course. Twilight and her friends looked relieved. Trixie knew she didn't understand what they were doing, though. They weren't collaborating. It wasn't their fault. Her own friends were all unharmed, and had been brought together. And Shirley was now being walked over to the same group by Pinkie Pie, even as the school teacher's mind was visibly at war for herself. She still fought Corona's spell. Trixie, meanwhile, was held in place by Twilight as Corona approached Trixie, the frown not leaving her features. Trixie, Corona said, you are not well. I only wish to help you, but I cannot do that if you will not let me. And I cannot ignore what you've just done to 5 perfectly innocent citizens of Ponyville. Can't you see how you are hurting them?
What's hurting them is not letting them live their real lives, Corona,
Trixie exclaimed, looking at Shirley and all her friends.
I don't know how you did it. I don't know what kind of magic you used.
She glanced at Twilight.
Maybe something Twilight helped you uncover, though I know she didn't do it willingly.
Celestia closed her eyes, frown at last dropping, a look of sadness overcoming her features. She shook her head. I'll see to it that you go to the best hospital that Equestria can provide.
Just make sure that you get a non-crazy pony to pick it out,
Voice interrupted. Celestia paused, opening her eyes and continued the source of the voice. It was Shirley, standing amongst the other real element bearers. She looked almost as surprised as Corona did to hear her eruption. She glanced at Lyra, Carrot Top, Ditzy, and Raindrops, before finally looking to Corona, then to Trixie. She recognized Trixie. Blue Unicorn cried out in joy, her glowing blue as she looked to Twilight, sending out not a powerful burst of magic, but a telekinetic shove. Not enough, but enough to strike Twilight's horn. She cried out in surprise at the sensation. Concentration disrupted. Trixie bounded away from where she had been dragged, over to her friends before Corona could react, throwing her hose around Shirley.
You remember?
I think I do, Shirley began, when a glowing aura suddenly wrapped around Trixie. She looked behind her in horror, saw Corona's horn glowing, her own telekinesis trying to pull Trixie away.
This isn't real,
she said. It's a delusion created by a pony who needs help. I'm sorry that I must be harsh here, but...
No!
Trixie exclaimed. She felt her friends trying to grab hold of her and pull her back. As they did, Twilight and her false friends came in, trying to separate the pile.
No, we're together! We can do this! We can stop Corona!
No, you can't! Twilight shouted. Because you're not the bearer of the element of magic! Trixie glared at Twilight.
Yes, I am!
She said, magic reaching out to the tourmaline diadem that still sat atop her head.
And these are my friends, and I'm gonna save them!
There was a flash of light. Not for Corona, not for Twilight, and not for Trixie's horn. It was from the element of magic, glowing bright with light. Twilight didn't want to fall away, but she did in utter shock at what she saw, as they were friends. The element of magic was glowing, responding to Trixie's magic. Twilight stared in horror. The air elements, still around Trixie's brainwashed friends, began to glow, pulsing in bright colors. The golden aura around Trixie cut out as the element of magic flashed brighter, while its gem didn't change. Over Trixie's head appeared a magical outline of her cutie mark, the crescent-shaped nebula with a wand overlaying it. Although it was this pink of the element's gem instead of blue, a similar set of arcane marks began to appear over each of the ponies currently wearing the elements as they were all lifted in the air, eyes glowing white with power.
Well, what's going on?
Applejack demanded.
How can the elements actually be doing this?
Randy added.
I don't know,
She exclaimed.
This isn't possible.
Twilight looked to Celestia for an explanation. Her teacher was staring in disbelief, at least as large as Twilight's own. Tugging at grass and Trixie, all forgotten about.
Princess! She's not the princess!
Trixie's voice called down from she was falling in the air.
She's Corona!
There was a burst of magic. The powerless Twilight only felt twice in her life before today. Pure arcane energy and a rainbow of hues shot up into the sky.
And she's going back into the sun where she belongs!
Twilight could only watch as the power of the elements of harmony were unleashing began to fall from the sky, emptying on itself, curving around, and falling right back down. Not towards Celestia, but towards Trixie and the 5 other ponies with her.
What?
Trixie asked, just as the rainbow hit her. There was a narrow flash of light, a gust of wind strong enough to toss every pony but Celestia off their hooves. When the light faded and the wind cleared, Twilight was able to pick herself back up. Trixie and her friends were on the ground, each of them looking stunned. Almost as one, 5 element necklaces fell from their necks, landing on the ground in their hooves. Glow within them subsiding. Only the element of magic remained on Trixie's head as she stared in shock and horror at Celestia, still standing, not merely holding on her by the elements, in fact not even untouched.
What? She asked. What? No! She stood on sinking legs. Come on. Get back up. Put those on. We got to try again.
Raindrops was the first to recover from her stunning. Was shaking her head, putting one hoof to it.
Try what? She asked. What just happened?
Oh, Lyra intoned as she picked herself up.
Oh, headache. Oh. Not the most important thing right now, Lyra, Trixie insisted, looking at Shirley. Snap out of it!
Shirley looked back to Trixie. This is strange, she intoned. I was so sure you were right. But now, it's like everything you showed me. Everything in that memory spell. It's just like watching a movie. That's it. Trixie stared with wide eyes.
You mean...
She picked herself up, eyes rattling in her head for a few moments.
Trixie, she said, I think you showed us all your memories. Me and Zach are funny. Now I think you see what happened. Getting a rush of memory and emotion like that? Of course we thought you were a friend. We'd trust you.
She turned one eye on Trixie.
But you're not. You're not a friend.
I don't think you're a bad pony, Carrot Top added, trying over to Trixie. I think you need help. Trixie stumbled backwards at that, tearing for a moment before falling on her haunches.
No, she breathed. No.
Celestia took a step forward. Trixie rolled around, really not letting her snap out of her peripheral vision. The prince waited several seconds before fancying a second step. The elements of harmony are the most powerful magic in all of ponydom, she said. You wished to help your friends, Trixie, or the ponies who believed you were friends. The elements responded, but they realized something was wrong. That you were the source of the conflict, not me. The memories you implanted in them were causing disharmony. Celestia was closer to Trixie than she had been able to get to this whole ordeal begun. Praise Trixie, she said. I do not know how it is the elements responded to you or your friends in the first place, but the results would be clear. I was not the problem. You were. I understand you do not trust me, Trixie. It's clear to me that you feel like you cannot. But please, for your sake, for the sake of those of whom you consider to be your friends, let me help you. Trixie was breathing in short, quick gasps as she looked to Celestia, then her friends. She looked at Twilight Sparkle last of all, staring at her with wide, tearing eyes.
This isn't.
Trixie, Twilight said, stepping forward herself. Please. Trixie gazed at Twilight another long moment, looking back at Celestia. She was still tense, still defensive, still looked ready to bolt in at a moment's notice. Slowly, very slowly, she nodded.
Okay, she breathed. Okay, I'll trust you, Corona, for now. But I want to know what in the Tyrant is going on before I start.
Her tirade was interrupted when she saw something past Celestia. Glancing in the same direction, Twilight saw one of Celestia's Pegasus guards flying towards them, landed a few feet behind his princess, bowing deeply.
Your Majesty, he reported without looking up. We have captured Trixie, Your Majesty.
We? Celestia echoed, turning around. Pegasus guard looked up.
Yes, Your Majesty, on the other side of Ponyville.
He noticed for the first time the blue unicorn in the wizard's cap, still wearing the element of magic. Every pony remained looking between him, Celestia, and Trixie.
I'm confused.
Meanwhile, in the center of Ponyville, Spike had been in the middle of fixing himself once. He was worried about the theft of the elements, of course, but he saw no reason why he should worry on an empty stomach. When he heard the library's front door open. Let's break! He called. Spike? Spike came out of the kitchen and brightened. Hey, Twilight! He said, walking out with his BLT. Barrel, lettuce, and turnips arranged this side, sandwich. With in one hand and a cup of milk in the other. Did you find the elements already? Twilight stared down at him for several long moments, looking confused. For some reason, she was wearing a plain brown cloak tied around her neck with a simple rope. She said, Yes, I did. It was easy. She smiled wildly. Spike joined in as he crunched down on his sandwich. Awesome! He said, I knew that Trixie wouldn't... Trixie? Twilight interrupted. Trixie was here?
Yeah,
Spike asked, drinking some milk.
she was, Corona. It didn't see so the princess in.
Twilight leaped out further colored that, backing away from Spike in long places.
What? She demanded. That, Trixie?
Stared.
What Trixie?
He asked, taking another bite from his sandwich. Twilight started pacing around, shaking her head.
Why? How? How'd she find me? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I knew coming here was a bad idea, but I just thought, oh, stupid, 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 stupid.
Spike watched Twilight for several long moments. Head turning to sides, he took in a sight of her. He looked a little travel worn. There's something about her eyes. He gasped, dropping his milk and sandwich, pointing an accusing hand.
You're not Twilight!
He exclaimed. The unicorn, if he was even that, stopped her pacing, looked at Spike with a fresh surprise on her face. After a moment, her eyes narrowed just slightly as she frowned.
I'm sorry, Spike,
She said, horn glowing.